Biomechanical concepts of the penalty shot. A penalty kick is awarded to the attacking team when a defending player commits a direct free kick offence inside the 18-yard box as outlined within the bylaws and sections 12 and 13. The procedure of the penalty kick is the ball is placed stationally on the penalty mark, and any players allowed within the 18-yard area are the goalkeeper and the attacker taking the penalty. The goalkeeper must be on their goal line until the ball is kicked. Due to the forceful and explosive nature of the skill, there are various skill-related fitness components used throughout the penalty kick. This is shown with static and dynamic balance, which is a main part of the motor skill, especially when maintaining coordination and power. The penalty is classified as an open skill as it is externally paced and is in an unpredictable environment that forces the performer to respond in a variety of ways. Additionally, the penalty kick is discrete as a clear beginning and end. The start of the process is the placement of the ball and the steps back towards the shooter's starting position, followed by the run-up and strike of the ball towards the goal to finish. There are three stages of learning: the cognitive phase, the associative phase, and the autonomous phase. The cognitive stage is where movements are slow, inconsistent, or inefficient, and there are many large errors made and external feedback is required for improvement. Usually a short stage of learning with rapid progress. The associative stage is considered the practice stage, where improvements through trial and error are made. Skills start to become smoother and muscle memory supports performance improvements. This stage is also where people start to self-correct their errors and more technical skills are developed. The final stage, which is the autonomous stage, movements are accurate, consistent, and efficient. Most movements are controlled automatically. The final stage is where a skilled player will be found as they have a good technique with their movement concepts. For a soccer penalty kick, the characteristics differ depending on what stage of learning. For example, in the cognitive stage, balance would be incorrect, which would affect a run-up and foot placement when striking the ball. The technique would vary from a professional run-up, foot placement, strike of the ball. The shooter may also be nervous or indecisive when striking the ball, which could lead to an incorrect kick or placement. Whilst in the associative stage, the player may have corrected some previous mistakes and have a general knowledge of the process of the shot. Most movements become muscle memory and technique would see gradual improvement over time. There may be still some imperfections such as balance of the stabilizing foot next to the placement of the ball. Finally, in the autonomous stage, most of the movements would be automatic and the shooter would be more focused on the goalkeeper's perspective. The placement of the ball would be known to the striker along with the required power. Force summation is a combination of forces produced by different parts of the body where a combination of muscle groups act together to maximize the force created either sequentially or simultaneously. The larger / stronger and slower body parts move first, followed by the smaller and weaker and faster extremities. This is known as sequential acceleration as the result in successful force summation. To obtain a maximum force summation also needs sequential stabilization of body parts, along with some parts having to be fixed at stable points along the procedure of the effective forces. Shown is a video of myself demonstrating a standing penalty procedure. Starting from the standing position, the run-up is powerful and high-paced to maximize the force conducted from my legs. As shown in the videos on the right-hand side, the most force conducted was when the ball was struck with the latest part of the foot, aside from the inside boot. Although shooting with the inside foot led to being more accurate, which scored a higher number of points. Here is a comparison of Ronaldo and myself taking a shot, attempting to get the most force but also staying accurate with the placement of the ball. Although building up this power is the main focus, it was necessary for me and Ronaldo to both hit the ball with the correct spot. By using the MyKicks football app, I was able to calculate the speed of my shot at 94 km per hour compared to Ronaldo, who can kick the ball at 130 km per hour. For the sporting application selected, a critical aspect that contributes to the success is power. The faster a ball travels, the harder it is for the goalkeeper to stop, meaning the quicker the reactions of the goalkeeper will determine the outcome of the shot. From the calculations conducted, the evidence provided suggests that Ronaldo and myself are not in the same stage of learning, proposing I am in the associative stage and Ronaldo is in the autonomous stage. Static and dynamic balance. Balance is a person's ability to control their equilibrium in relation to gravity and stay upright or stay in control of body movements. There are two types of balance: static and dynamic balance. Stability has been defined as the level of challenge at which one can still balance. The ability to control your body during movement, where balance is your ability to return to a desired position or trajectory following a disturbance. Balance applies to one's penalty shot, as the run-up and foot placement is a very important aspect. The ability to place your stabilizing foot in the perfect position to better yourself for a more powerful and coordinated shot results in an improved penalty. If the shooter is off balance when taking the kick, their line of gravity/center of gravity will be affected. For example, the player's line of gravity is directly down the middle of the center of the gravity, makes the body more stable during acceleration. If the line of gravity within the base of support, the body is stable and better equipped for movement. Compared to when the line of gravity is not within the base of support, the player must adjust to not fall over. This affects the penalty kick, as the shooter will opt for a stable line of gravity and base of support, which will assist in keeping the body upright. It will also be much easier once the stabilizing foot has been planted next to the ball. The shooter will feel comfortable when swinging his other foot. I videoed myself taking 20 penalty shots against the goalkeeper to examine my technique and identify the aspects of my shot. I broke the shot into two parts. The first 10 shots were my normal penalty style, where I missed a total at 4 out of the 10 shots. My technique was inconsistent when referring to my run-up in correlation towards the number of steps I took and my foot placement next to the ball. This very procedure made it difficult to analyse my next shot, as I continuously had to assess the number of steps I needed to take and where to place my foot. The first 10 shots were also taken by my peer and friend to compare our results afterward. The next 10 penalty shots were taken after gathered research on the professional football player Cristiano Ronaldo. The information collected was useful to analyse his technique and posture when taking a penalty, which I could then incorporate for further shots. Ronaldo has a set run-up style where he takes 5 steps back and 1 step to his left, as he is right-footed. His technique is executed on his tippy toes, which allows him to build up the required force from his legs to gain more power. From examining Ronaldo's style and run-up, I was able to adapt my current technique in relation with his, as shown in the second video. Relating to force summation, I was shooting with much more power, as I was striking the ball with the top of my foot on the metatarsal head instead of the side of my foot. This alteration was made from the gathered research on how to get the optimal power was useful and effective. This next section of data was collected on a different day, where I took 25 standard penalty kicks and recorded the results. As shown in the diagram, my shots varied for each section, which tells me that I'm constantly attempting to adjust the direction of my shot so that the goalkeeper cannot read where I'm going. This type of shooting method was precise, as I scored 19 out of 25 shots, which is 76% shots taken. Comparing my results to a professional like Ronaldo, who has scored 130 out of 160, which is 83% of penalties in his career. From the gathered research and information collected from multiple sources, such as journal articles, videos, footage, images, graphs, the evidence suggests that I'm in the associative stage of learning. Ronaldo's penalty goals percentage of 83% suggests that he is in the autonomous stage of learning, as he is a professional with one of the highest scoring rates in the world. Considering my shot rate was 76%, assuming that I'm not far from the autonomous stage and that I'm in the high associative stage. By using the two selected theory concepts of force summation and balance/stability, I've enhanced my penalty kick. From researching professional tactics and players such as Cristiano Ronaldo, I have assessed and implemented the information gained. By also comparing myself to a peer, I have obtained new and useful data that displays the difference in the stages of learning. The previous information suggests that I'm in the associative stage.